Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Advanced aerospace high technology is flying into South Africa's changing mining space, with French software company Dassault Systèmes keen to achieve significant cost efficiencies in mining. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer tells us more. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
Dassault Systèmes actually comes out of the aviation industry, but its advanced technology is well suited to mining. How can they assist the mining industry?
Yeah, well, from flying high in the sky, they're going to go low into the ground, and but using a lot of the same technology. And of course, some of their technology have been used for, the biggest of planes, like the Dreamliner, and they do it from, nose to tail and everything in between, plus the splies, and they give you a sort of a visual impression of everything, so you can slice and dice and do a million and one things. And of course, the aviation industry and the defense industry and the automotive industry have been well ahead of the mining industry. And a lot of mining leaders have been saying for some time now, like Mark Kudafani, we've got to catch up with this. There's so much proven technology that we need to put together and apply. And so you can see why the Wall Street Journal is talking of eerie places that mines will become in the future, because we've got this image of robotics, and we've got this image of automated plant and driverless trucks coming through. Now, coming in with that is Dassault, which has got such a big background, such a huge research and development team, saying, look, we can apply that into mining and maybe make it far easier for the boards of directors and management, to sort of plot the way forward, because often they're working in the dark. Their real assets are deep, dark and dangerous normally, and to get down there and to find out exactly what you've got is so important. With the sort of software and technology that Dassault can provide, you will be able to have a visual image of this in 3D, bring it into the boardroom, even show it to your investors and shareholders to prove what can be done, and to have it interrogated so that we don't run into errors like we have done, in mining. And particularly in South Africa, where it's so labor intensive, we need to really move into a new era. And you can see these big technology companies coming forward globally now to assist in the mining space, because, the demand for those metals and minerals is going to be so strong. It doesn't end. As urbanization takes place, there's just more and more demand. And we owe it to the world to do it really as an industry very well and very efficiently, and to make sure that it's also environmentally friendly. The technology has not been used properly. Now people are saying, let's use it. Now,
this same technology has been has added impressive value to the Finch diamond mine in the Northern Cape.
Yeah, so you can be up in the clouds, but then you must put your feet in the ground when you actually want to sell your product. So they've gone in on a very mundane project, an old mine dump that has got diamonds in from periods where people weren't as efficient with their diamond mining, so they dumped a lot of more diamond on the dump than they should have. And so they can go into that situation, they can create all the graphics, they can slice and dice and peel back and interrogate using this incredibly advanced technology on what is really a waste dump. And I think that is a good way to start, to show, look, if we can do something on diamond recovery from these dumps, there's so much more. And look how well we can do it, that we can give you a scenario plan year on year going forward, so that you know exactly what diamonds you're going to recover. So I think it was quite a humble way to start, but it's a good way, I think, for a very high technology company like us. And you can see Finch Diamond Mine getting the benefit of this, and they presented at the South African Institute of Mining and Metallurgy to sort of let the mining intelligentsia know what is available and how they've done on these projects, and they chose the Finch mine to actually tell that story.
Sounds like an MRI for mining.
That's right.
Now, what other applications could this technology be used for, and how much does it cost?
Well, the cost was interesting, because we threw that question at him, because, are we going to pay sort of aerospace type costs and defense type costs, that are normally astronomical? And what they were trying to explain is that they add value, and their pricing is based on the value they project that they'll add. So they need to enter this market, and they're entering it at a time when costs are so high anyway. They're trying to bring them down. And they're saying, look, we can bring those costs down, but obviously, there is a way of charging for that that is a win-win. And you can see that they're working on that basis. But in the background, they've got all these researchers and that can be put to work. And they can take everything, from starting with exploration to mine closure, if you want. You can really, all those silos that we're so used to in the mining industry, they can pull them all together, string them all together, give you that whole value chain, and give you such a good holistic position of it, but then also allow you to look at the individual slices and interrogate them, so that there's nothing that you can't get to. And if you change a thing at one end, the software changes it all over, so that you know what the implications of your new strategies are, and your modifications. And I think it's something that would really help the industry. Hopefully, people can see fit to move into these high technology eras, because we've got so many people depending on mining. It is still the flywheel of the South African economy. And so why not do it in the best way possible?
Now, this advanced technology echoes the call made by Dr. Gordon Smith at this week's SAI MME Mine Planning Conference. He called for mining to make a quantum change. Tell us about that.
Yeah, now this change mentality is just permeating the industry. Everywhere you go, they're preparing people for change. Of course, the Marikana massacre, the other problems that we've had with the strike, forming the background of this, saying, so far and no further, we can't actually continue doing things the way we do them as we've done them in the past. So let's not just think, we're getting computers here, and then we replicate what we're doing on the past, only faster.
Yes.
No, they want to really rethink everything. And so, you get the feeling that there will be a lot more automation in our mines, that obviously they have to discuss this thoroughly, and he's preparing the people who think for the mining industry, and they're all in this 120-year-old South African Institute of Mining and Metallurgy, and preparing them to go into the future. And of course, we were sitting in Wits there, and underground from where we were sitting is a mock mine. It's a digital mine, where they actually have drones flying around to give you the bandwidth that you need underground, and preparing for this new era. And that was the atmosphere throughout. And there were people from America, there were people from Nigeria. There was a lot of input from different countries, or people coming into that particular scenario. So I think the mining world realizes that it's got to be quantum change, particularly in the deep underground mines. We've had a lot of mechanization in open cast. People are also realizing that's very restrictive. At some stage you need to leap over mechanization into automation, and perhaps South Africans will sit in an advantaged position, because instead of us going through this restrictive mechanization, we will leap all the way into automation, and then gain a new competitive edge, and leave behind this 19th century and 18th century type approach. Because when you analyze it, it's not really fair to send people to those depths at that sort of risk. The safety issues are huge. And then as you go deeper, you've got to cool the temperatures, and it's very, very costly. So it's better to look to machines down there, Xbox type of control, first from underground, then the surface, so that people don't have to be in the vulnerable areas. Because it's no good saying, we're doing something for the South African economy, but it's really a vanity, some of these precious metals. I mean, must we get people killed because, you need a gold ring or a gold watch or something like that? And you can get the gold from elsewhere. So mining has to change, and I think all forms of mining, not only precious metal, to be far more efficient, and maybe get the material prices down as well, for the benefit of the whole world.
Well, thank you very much, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Shannon.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.